Remember being here 10 months ago and 6 months ago. Why 10 months ago? 10 months ago because I need to verify that the squash really are growing in this particular section. If you could remember, that is why there are ropes which were installed here, because from that section towards here there are squash. The evidence, there are dry leaves of squash here, and we are not just simply featuring to you the squash, which are leaves, which are purely leaves. We harvested here, I think, around 8 pieces of squash, and not only squash but squash, big squash. And that is the effort that we need to duplicate this time, and that is the reason why this ipil who actually grew, it grew so slender and so lowly, and that is why I decided to tie this one with this rope and to support it here so that it would serve as a support system whenever the squash is going to be climbing up here. So that's how excited we are in this season of planting, and even if the squash are still there, 24 days old squash are still there, and they haven't gone anywhere else, but they are positioned to spread through, and that might be horizontally or vertically. So we are just going to be prepared at which nature they are going to be growing, and at least we already have a structure here ready to accommodate them. I remember before here in this section, in this section I harvested the squash. So that's what we are trying to replicate here in the rooftop. There's a moon. Today should have been the perfect day for us to go for crabbing, but no one is actually inviting us. So here you can see the little garden nursery. So if you are having kids and still preschool, that is catering here with that kind of need for our children. Let's have a look at here. So this tree is actually towering this time, so I will just allow it to grow up until the time that perhaps it's going to reach here, so it would be easier for me to climb. There is no need of ladder because of that one itself. In the other side you can see now the summit of the mango, and perhaps few months from now we are going to experience again the fruit of this mango. One thing that I noticed this time is that the leaves are actually smaller than the usual. I think this is the kind of scenario we're in. The mango, as it grew older, if you failed to supplement the requirement of nutrients, that's the thing that's going to happen. Similar with the other mango here. Let us see. So there is another mango here, and if you are going to observe, the leaves also are getting smaller, and some of the parts get dried up. It is already very tall, and we need to supplement this one with the required nutrients. So there are plenty of dry leaves of mango here, but we refrain to use the leaves because it is acidic. Up until the time I think that the acidity of it has been evaporated. I mean, it is extremely so dry, then we can use this as a fertilizer. Oh, there are traces here of mango fruit, that dried up. So it means we failed to harvest it. I think it was during the season where it was very hot, that even during the evening time it would be very hard. So the temperature was actually unbearable, and that's the reason why we didn't pursue. And oh, there is Kalachuchi here, and down there is the garden of Sister Chris. You can observe from the base that there are plenty of plants at the base of the Kalachuchi, and it is like an integration of ecosystem. So we call it urban gardening. It is happening here in the most developed city, so, or in the most developed urban centers, which is in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, or even in Ras Al Khaimah, Ajman, wherever it is possible to have a garden like this one, because we have the same soil and we have the same water, so we can do that. And another thing also, yeah, Pastor Bong planted this moringa, and it is coming from the seed. So since we have stayed in here already from 2019, they stayed here 2019, that was somewhat like April, so more than 2 years already. And from that moment on, Pastor Bong were able to produce this one from the seed. And the seeds of this moringa were actually taken from the mother moringa, which is in my garden. And that is a date palm. Also is displaying a lot of flowers. I think we need to prune the leaves of this one, because it is just like shading the other plants, especially the plants here with Sister Chris. I think so. We need to do that maybe in the near days or weeks. And that is a neem, and just far from us, it's the residential area. Sometimes we go there for grocery. And this is Al Bahar Tower, this Al Salam Street. It's very busy, and it is where we are visiting. And beyond that is the park, the Dolphin Park, or Eastern Mangrove Park, or the Mangrove Park itself. Okay, why there is east and west? So the weather now is so favorable, so it's nice to stay here. So my stamina told me to come here, and I was able to climb. Right now that I am going to station myself to go down, it seems that I feel there is difficulty in doing that. But I can do that, I believe, and I will do it. I can do that, I believe, and I will do it. Yeah, that's the portion that we need to prune one of these days. I will do that. So that we can use also the palm leaves in itself, the date palm leaves. So thank you guys for watching. Maybe I have been talking a lot and nonsense things, but I'm just letting the time pass through as I climb up here in the rooftop and visiting it again. It's actually clean. Somebody cleaned this up. It was so dusty the other time, and there were plenty of leaves, and right now only few leaves. Perhaps the leaves were thrown or blown away by the wind. So thank you so much for watching and subscribing SAS TV official, leaving a comments and suggestions, and hit the notification bell, share and subscribe. Thank you. God bless you all.